Up on Interstate 45, 50 miles north of Houston, Texas, lies the Conroe Central Wastewater Treatment Plant, the single largest capital construction project for the city's history.
With a total of roughly 480 miles of sewer collection system. And Conroe Central is our second newest wastewater treatment plant that serves about 3 million gallons on average.
This is one of Wastewater Digest's 2023 top projects. And the catalyst for this project was actually a regulation from the Texas Commission of Environmental Quality, in which it states that when a plant meets 75% of its capacity, they must have drawings or plans or some type of plan in place for capacity improvements. The design team for the Conroe Central Wastewater Treatment Plant took great effort to plan for the future with this new plant.
The city did some projections on population and just overall growth and industries and things like that. And that information was used to decide that ultimately they thought for the life of this plant, they would need a 12 MGD plant. We designed a plant that the 6 MGD train was the first to go, but there's another one that can mirror it that will come in that'll add another 6 MGD in the future.
One of the more progressive elements of this project was setting the stage for anaerobic digestion and carbon diversion, both of which could have huge impacts on energy and sustainability efforts moving forward.
That will allow us to use the gas collected at the facility to generate energy. And depending upon the future flows, that energy could make the plant self-sustaining. In other words, it might be able to provide enough energy to run the plant so that the actual plant operations would pay for the utilities associated with it.
Anaerobic digestion and carbon diversion were both in the original plans. However, at 75% of the design, TCEQ identified that the location had some environmental impacts and concerns aligned with it, and so a new location had to be identified. Despite that late pivot, the project remained on time and on budget. In fact, the designer and the city worked together to make sure that the capacity limits were still met, while also setting the stage for anaerobic digestion and carbon diversion down the line. Perhaps one of the most notable elements of this is that even though they had to move location, they still managed to save $4 million off the original budget estimate of $64 million.
We identified 67 opportunities for value engineering on this project. Once we had those 67 things identified, the contractor LIM went out and identified the cost associated with each of those items. The end result was that the project proposal price was reduced to approximately $59.7 million. So there was about $4.8 million in savings.
An example of this value engineering were the launder covers for the clarifiers, which the operations team really wanted to keep in the project. They were removed at some point during the value engineering process to save some money, but due to some optimizations during construction, they were able to bring it back in, and now it's part of the actual final design of the project.
The contractor did identify some areas where additional cost savings could be made, and it was included in the final project. So, and we still, as I talked to you previously, this project had 0.3% change orders on the whole project, and that was non-owner directed.
At $60 million, finding the money for this is really important, and the city said that it used a lot of its rate increases over the course of many years to help pay for this.
We slowly have been increasing rates over time, just as the city grows and population growth, and taking into account that. Our financial advisor at the time recommended that we go to a certificates of obligation due to the rates and how everything we're at on the bond market.
All that effort of pivoting to a new location, value engineering to save dollars, rate increases over a number of years to pay for it, it's all put the city into a position to look forward rather than backward. And that future, it looks pretty bright.
We're working on upgrading all of our trunk lines coming to that facility. We're actually working to even upgrade our diversion structure to add more flow that way to better enhance the treatment of some of the wastewater that we have, because that plant is much more efficient as well. Other than that, just continue to upgrade everything around the city of Conroe.